Welcome to episode 62 of the Get Well With Me podcast. I am your host, Adrianne, and together we explore the healing powers of our unconscious mind while we lean towards a healthier lifestyle and being the best version of ourselves possible. We are all about excellence, not perfection. So if that resonates with you, if you like the idea of just taking a step each day towards being your best self, that is what we do here on the Get Well With Me podcast. So there's lots of different areas of focus, certainly our health, our wellness, meditation, sleep, all of the things. And it's so much fun. So I want to just commend you and acknowledge you for being here because you are choosing to spend your time with me and kind of work on yourself a little bit when you could just be scrolling TikTok. Don't do it. I know it's tempting. Or maybe, watching the negative news and polluting your mind, but you have consciously, intentionally chosen to get on the path. Get on the path of being just a little bit better today. And today's episode, 62. What? We're at 62 already. It's all about labels. Before you were even born, people have been putting labels on you, just saying that you're this kind of person or that kind of person, or you're good enough or you're not good enough, or, and even if it's a positive label, then sometimes that's like pressure that we feel that we have to live up to. And if it's a negative label and we adopt it as part of our identity, then it's something that we live down to. You see how that works? We feel like pressure to live up. We feel not good enough to just own the magic that is inside of us. You were created. You're not an accident. And God put you here with your own gifts, your own abilities, and this incredible mind, and this self-healing body. And that's how I think of myself, that I have an incredible, intelligent, creative mind and a body that knows nothing else besides how to heal itself. It never gives up on me. It never gives up on you. Your heart doesn't say, I'm going to take a break today. I'm just going to turn off. Your lungs, they don't say, I'm tired. I'm not going to breathe today. No, everything keeps going. Everything keeps going and gives you permission. If you're breathing, you have permission to live your best life. So let's do it. We are going to close our eyes. I know, you guys, I am so silly. I crack myself up. But we're going to close our eyes and we're going to go inside. And it's going to be really fun. We're going to make a little campfire in our mind. We are going to remove those labels. We are going to burn them up in the fire. And that is going to give us space, because in order to pick up something new, we have to put something down. In order to make room for something beautiful, we need to let go of something that's no longer serving us. So I invite you right now to, well, for one, please don't be driving or just doing anything that requires your full attention, because this does produce an eyes closed state of hypnosis. And I also want to let you know you can't do it wrong. Like, I get so many comments of that I went so deep and I don't remember anything, or I didn't go deep enough and I really want to go under. So it's okay. Whatever is happening for you, it's happening for you, and it's okay. Your unconscious mind, whether you're in a deep, relaxed, non-responsive trance, or whether you're just kind of closing your eyes and pretending to be in one, either way, your inner mind can hear you, and it's going to get the message, because I am going to speak to your inner mind in a way that it understands. So let's do that. Okay. Close your eyes and open them. Close your eyes and open them. When you do that, when you close your eyes and then open them, you notice that your eyelids start to feel really heavy. Like your eyelids are like, why are you making me do exercises? I just want to chill. So do that a little bit. Blink your eyes, close them, open them, and then feel the heaviness. Feel them just so heavy, like there's a weight over your eyelids, and you just gently close your eyes. And as you do, you begin to let go. You begin to go deeper. I'm going to count you down now, and I'd like you to imagine that you're standing at the top of a very heavy staircase. Maybe it's one that's familiar to you, and you feel the railing underneath of your hand, and you feel the surface supporting you beneath your feet, and you're just breathing steadily and relaxed in whatever way feels good, and you know that you're about to walk down these stairs, and you already know that I'm only asking you to relax. And with each step down now, down to the 9th step, you feel heavy and relaxed, going deeper and deeper down to number 8, feeling good, feeling safe, moving down now to number 7. And as you reach number 7, you give yourself permission to go deeper, because this is your time for yourself. As you go down now to number 6, gently flowing down, feeling good, feeling safe. As you go down now to number 5, flowing down to number 4, twice as deeper as before, to number 3, 2, relax to care, number 1, and 0. You are now standing on the floor below. You notice that the door is cracked open, and you see a warm, glowing light outside. It seems dark outside, but there's a warm, orangey, glowing light, and it piques your curiosity. So you take a step forward, and you gently push the door open, and you notice it's a peaceful night. You can hear the crickets outside and the calm sounds of nature. As you approach the glowing light, you notice it's a beautiful campfire, the kind that warms you up all the way into your bones and heals you from the inside out. As you walk closer and closer, the warmth inviting you until you're just the right distance from the campfire. We're gonna make this fire so big, so powerful. There happens to be some dried branches, maybe last year's Christmas tree. And perhaps you are very familiar with campfires and bonfires, and you enjoy being outdoors. You walk around a little bit and hear the leaves crunching under your feet as you step forward. And you decide it is time to turn the heat up on this fire, and you reach with all of your might into the pile and you pull out whatever it is that you'd like to burn. Maybe it's that old, tired, dried out Christmas tree, or maybe it's a stack of perfectly seasoned firewood. Whatever you choose, you reach down, you feel the roughness on your hands, you lift it up and you heave it into the fire. And when you do, you see the sparks. You see the fire recalibrating as it seeks to burn up everything that is in this fire. And it occurs to you that there are some things that you would like to burn in this fire. So you stand gazing at these flames until your trance goes even deeper, because staring at a fire is the original trance, because staring into the flames helps your mind to just let go. And as you do, you allow your mind to go to a place. Perhaps it's like collecting little branches and twigs and pine cones for the fire, where you wander around in your mind and you pick up things that you'd like to discard, things that are no longer helping you, things that are holding you back, things that may have served a purpose, or maybe they didn't. But either way, you decide it's time to burn them up and to let them go and to make room for new and beautiful ways to transform. And suddenly you see yourself in a room with a piece of paper, and you realize you're in a room in your mind, and you have a pen in your hand, your favorite pen. You begin to write down on the paper all of the labels that you'd like to burn up in the fire, everything about yourself that isn't true or that you don't want to be true. And you start to write down things that people have said to you. Maybe they've said, "You're too much. You're not the sharpest tool in the shed." Maybe they said that you're a loser, or that you're not good enough. Or maybe that's what you say to yourself all the time, is that you're not good enough, or that you can't do it, or that that's just the way that it is. And as you seek to look for these labels that have been placed on you by someone else, words that have been said to you or about you, you write them down. You write them down on this piece of paper, knowing where this piece of paper is headed, and knowing that this isn't a very effective method to clean up around the campfire. So you continue to write things down. If you've ever received a diagnosis that you don't like, a diagnosis that you don't want to give any power to, you can write it down on the paper. If there's a time or many times where you felt rejected, and maybe you've said to yourself, "They don't like me, I'm not good enough." Maybe you've even thought that your appearance isn't beautiful, and you know that you are beautiful, and you know that you are good enough, and you know that because you continue to breathe, that you already have permission to live your best life and be your best self. Or maybe someone has called you an old lady or an old man, or simply just said that you're old or you're getting old, and you know that you choose to be youthful. All of these things that have been said to us or by us, all of these unhelpful labels, you know they're headed for the fire. Take a moment with that pen in your hand to think of things that you've said about yourself recently, about the way that you look, about the way that you feel, about the person who you are. Do you see yourself as lovable? Do you see yourself as difficult? All of these labels, if they're helpful, you can choose to keep them. And if they're not helpful, you can choose to burn them up in the fire. So I'm going to give you a moment to write down a few more labels. And as you do, I'd like you to travel back in your mind to about middle school, maybe even elementary school. And surely things will come to your mind where other kids, or even teachers, or coaches, they said something to you. They said something about you. They either labeled you or caused you to feel in such a way that you labeled yourself. Articulate that now on the piece of paper and go deeper. A time may come to you, or a parent or a grandmother. They said something about you. They said something about you, what kind of person you were. Maybe they said you were a shy person, or a shy kid, or a sick kid. Or maybe they labeled you with a learning disability. Or maybe they just lightheartedly said something. They didn't realize that it was going to stick to you like glue. So take a moment and look at your body as you're sitting there with the pen and the paper. See if there's any labels that are sticking to you. Labels that have to do with your body weight or your body image. Find those labels, peel them off of yourself, stick them on the paper. And it's time now. Surely you already know you're going to feel lighter and better once these labels have been removed. So you stand up from your chair, fold up the piece of paper, and you stick it in your pocket. And suddenly, you see yourself now gazing at the fire, and it's roaring and it's raging because you have fed it with everything that it needs for fuel. And as the fire is now so hot that you have to take a few steps back, and you remember that you have a note in your pocket. So you reach your hand into your pocket, feeling the material of your pants and the crinkliness of the paper, and you pull out this neatly folded note. And fortunately, because the fire's so bright, you're able to see. It's making plenty of light. You carefully unfold the piece of paper. You almost don't want to look at it because you know that it's filled up with words that have hurt you, words that have held you back, words that have caused you to see yourself as less than you truly are. And as you gaze upon your own handwriting on this paper and those labels that you peeled off of yourself, you know what to do. You know what to do. You begin to crumple this piece of paper up into a tight ball. You roll it around until it's just so small. And from where you're standing, you toss it into the fire. And it takes only a second until the flames engulf all of those labels. And the piece of paper generates its own flame. You can see it in the fire. It's one with the fire, but it's its own separate flame as it ignites and it burns. And as you look up, you see the smoke gently rising into the sky. And the stars are shining so brightly against the black sky that it feels like you could just reach up and touch them. And because you have permission to do that, you stretch your arm straight up in the sky, and with your pointy finger, you point at the star that's shining the brightest, and it feels like you almost make contact with it. And then you notice a puff of smoke goes by, and you know that those labels are gone, and the only thing that's left is clarity. The clarity that you know, the clarity that you are now free from what other people have said about you, free from the harsh things that you've said about yourself, free from the spell of others. It's what spelling is. It's words. It's words. And as powerful as words are, they are just words. And you can play with them, and you can change them. And as you are still looking into the dark night and the bright stars, and everything seems so clear, and the smell of the fires comforting, and the crispness in the air fills your lungs, and you feel free. And you know that now that you've made so much room in your mind for new and healthy labels, that your creative mind, it goes to work. It goes to work when you go to sleep at night, and it dreams and drifts, and you wake up in the morning refreshed, knowing what labels, what identities, what truth you're going to put on yourself. And maybe tonight, as you drift and dream, maybe you'll dream about a pack of sticky notes that are super sticky, and you'll start writing new labels that you choose, new labels that help you to identify with your healthiest self, with your most successful self. Some of your labels might say that you're lovable. They might say that you're strong. They might say that you're a winner, that you're an overcomer. They might say that you're creative. They might say that you're intelligent. They might say that you're unstoppable. And the possibilities are endless. And they're inside of you, and all around you, and through you. And with this new clarity, you're going to grab on to those labels that will help you the most to be the person that you truly desire to be. And from now on, as the days and weeks go by, when someone attempts to label you with an illness or a characteristic that is not helpful to you, you mentally toss it into the fire, and You're not in grade school anymore. You're not a little child anymore. You are the one, the only one who has the permission, the only one who holds the pen and the paper and the sticky notes. You are the one that gets to label yourself. You acknowledge and accept that there comes a time in your life where you decide how you see yourself and you let go of the ideas and perceptions of others. And with this you feel free, and with this you feel light, and with this you feel good, and with this you know what's possible for you. And you give yourself permission to believe that good things are coming. You give yourself permission to believe that things happen for you, that good things happen to you. You give yourself permission to believe that your body is a self-healing machine. You give yourself permission to believe that your mind has the power to help you create the life that you truly want to live in and to be the person that you're the most proud of. So as you drift and dream tonight, you will relabel yourself with beauty and love and prosperity. You will relabel yourself with kindness, with willpower, with motivation, with inspiration. We're going to come out now in just a moment or two. You might begin to feel your eyelids flutter a little bit. You might feel your toes begin to wiggle a little bit. And on the count of 5, you will be wide awake, feeling fresh and clear and hopeful and brand new. 1, feeling good. 2, waking up. 3, opening your eyes. 4, feeling refreshed. And 5, like cold water's being splashed on your face, and you're back. You're back. Welcome back. You guys, you did it. You did it. You peeled off those old yucky labels, and now you have lots of room to put new ones. And your unconscious mind is going to continue to do this work. So I know that you love that. I loved it too. I feel better just thinking those thoughts. And it's fun playing around with the fire image. There's a lot we can do with a fire. I mean, think of all the times that you've, stood around a fire, or, maybe that's not in your, like where you grew up, or how, maybe you don't do campfires. Something fun you could do is light a candle and stare at it. And I'm telling you, fire trance is the original trance. So you can have some fun with that. And I encourage you to do that just with a positive intention or a prayer, or do it as a meditation and, focus on sending love to someone, or do it as a break to escape the trap of the scrolling and the screens, and just give yourself a minute. Give yourself a minute with a candle, or close your eyes and make a huge fire. So that's the power of our mind. That's the power of our imagination. That's the power of our unconscious. And when we speak in pictures and we think in pictures, that is the language of the unconscious mind. Think of all the dreams that you had that it seems like they didn't make sense, but they were just pictures, and they were kind of maybe all jumbled up, but they meant something to your inner mind. And when we do go into a state of trance or kind of just chill, or when we sleep, or particularly that dream state in the morning where the dreams are like so vivid and you just feel so intoxicated almost. You're like, if I could just have a few more minutes to finish this dream, I don't know what I'm dreaming about, but it just feels like I want to be there. So, your unconscious mind is always working for you. It's always kind of doing the fire thing. It's always trying to take the junk and, get rid of it. But our mind is really smart. And if we unconsciously believe that one of those labels is helping us, like for instance, if we really believe in a diagnosis and we believe that we have to believe in that diagnosis in order to get better, think about that. If we believe that we want to like unconsciously protect ourselves from being seen as a loser or being seen as fill in the blank, then sometimes we'll hold on to that label in order to protect against it. But I'm giving you permission. You're a grown up now. I assume if you're watching this, you're a grown up now. And your adult self, you have the power. You have the power to clean out all of that stuff that's been holding you back. Especially watch your I am statements. These are big clues. I am whatever. I am sick. I am fat. I am tired. These are all things that when we say them, we give them power. We actually make them more true. And we can be more careful with our words, which would be I'm experiencing symptoms of, recently something I've been feeling is, but we don't want to say I am and then put anything negative after that. Or identify as I am an insomniac. I mean, this is one of these types of diagnoses that I'm alluding to, that when you believe that about yourself, your unconscious mind, it does everything to make that true. Your unconscious mind, it believes everything you tell it. Have you ever really not wanted to go to an event and then you're like, whoops, I'm sick. Where did I get this migraine from? Or why does my stomach feel like this right now? Because you can't hide from yourself when you say, I really don't want to go to this. I would do anything to get out of this. I'm so overworking. I wish I couldn't go to work anymore. Your body and your mind will find ways to make that a thing. So please be careful with your words. Please be careful to realize that as destructive as your words can be, they can be even more powerful when you use them for creativity and clarity towards the person you want to be and the life you want to have. So that's it, guys. That is episode 62. There is so much more good stuff coming. We are going to definitely be talking about imposter syndrome soon. Imposter syndrome, I I know I've talked about it a lot before because it's something that I've really struggled with. I really do. I struggle with these labels. I struggle with these ideas that that I'm not good enough, or that someone else is better, or that maybe I shouldn't start because it's not going to be perfect. And really, you can see this whole podcast, it is about self-development and what I am learning and have learned, and sharing that with you, so that I don't have to be on this journey by myself. I don't have to just be taking all these baby steps towards the best me all by myself. I have you guys with me. And I thank you so much for spending your time with me today. So until next time, much love.